All right, so it's the afternoon of day 15 of the Pac Cup. Not a lot to report today, other than just the same as yesterday. We are just flying spinnaker all day long. We did jibe last night, so flying the spinnaker on the opposite side today. We're just trying to get to Hawaii at this point, just 400 some miles off the coast at this point. The weather is beautiful. It's just ongoing light winds. This has got to be the lightest wind Pac Cup, I don't know, seems like in forever. Although this is the first time I've ever made it this far, so maybe I just don't know what it's like around Hawaii. But yeah, it's just crazy how light the winds have been, and if it weren't for the spinnaker, we'd be in deep, deep trouble. But so far the sailing's been good. Hopefully the wind will pick up a little more in the evening. We're going to drive the boat up as late as we can, right till sunset, before we take the spinnaker down, try to make as many miles as we can. And that's the rest of the day. So no wildlife, nothing exciting to report. Otherwise, I would have taken pictures of them. If I do see anything this evening, I will definitely share that with you. I'll check in with you later. All right, Stevie, it's day 15 of the Pac Cup. Another light wind day, spinnaker up. Are you ready to be in Hawaii?
I was ready.
Yeah, so was I. I hear you. So we are in the Gallia Cetacea. John is trying to work, but you know, I'm trying to stop him from working by interviewing him for Nautophilia, which is way more important in my opinion. So
I agree.
One of the things John said had been thinking about this whole trip was just equipment that he has found on this boat. He doesn't have on his own boat, but he thinks has been crazy beneficial, helping him get the navigation right and steering the boat. So what have you found beneficial that you would improve on your own boat if you given the opportunity?
Okay, so I'm old school, been sailing since I've been probably 12 to 14, but all this time, even now, the most navigation equipment related to wind and or rudder angle is a piece of string on the side of the stanchion and a broken wind vane up on the top of my mast. So what I've now been accustomed to over the last 1,500 miles at sea is a really nice Garmin, basically the Garmin, I think Garmin doesn't do the, Garmin does the wind,
Yeah.
and all of the other data. And what I found to be one of the most important pieces of equipment on a downwind run right now, which I've never used before for the most part, because I don't have one, is a rudder. What do you call that?
Rudder position
Rudder
indicator.
position indicator.
Yeah.
Huge. Let me tell you why. If you got time.
Go for it.
So we're going downhill, right? So we're heading downwind, and it's not uncommon. You can't see where the waves are coming from, and you obviously got to keep the stern square to the waves coming from behind and try to drive it down. But you're always fighting the wheels. So if you guys have seen me fighting the wheels, because I'm trying to keep the boat kind of going down the straight and narrow. But when you're running that wheel hard over, you don't know how far over you've gone. And again, on my wheel, it's a piece of tape. So what's nice is you can run that wheel hard over, and that rudder indicator will show when your rudder is at center, which is huge, because you know when you run that thing over to try to get your boat over, you know you don't put that rudder past center and leave it, and you're golden. You're not going to jive.
Yeah.
And it's huge. It's a big deal. So yeah, my shout out to Garmin. My shout out to whoever invented this rudder thing. What do you call it?
Well, the interesting thing is, and I'll share with the fact that there is another helm down here in the main cabin. And so this is hydraulic steering. And under like traditional cable steering, you can't just put a piece of tape and it's always going to end up in the same spot on the wheel. With hydraulic steering, the wheels could end up in different positions every time, depending on which wheel you're using to steer the boat.
Which is another thing I want to
So
mention.
the rudder definitely helps out with that.
So what I've been used to, and I'll just share this and I'll shut up. But what I've been used to is cable steering. So on an Ericsson 35, it's a cable steering mechanism.
Right.
On the Force 50s, it is all hydraulic. And on a cable system, you have to lock down the helm.
Yeah.
So if you want to leave the helm locked down, to use it, you got to unlock the helm, run it, lock it down. With the hydraulics, you can pretty much run it to course, let go of the wheel, which I do often, and see where it ends. You don't have to lock it down. It's locked down in
Yeah,
position
by the hydraulics.
By the hydraulics, then you can
Yeah.
easily move it. So
So other than the GPS chart plotter, the couple things you really appreciate is the wind vane indicator, which
Wind
is
vane indicator, so
or the wind vane, which is tied into
yeah,
the Garmin
and-
chart plotter through the NMEA 2000 network, and then the rudder position.
the rudder
indicator.
position, the wind indicator is huge. And like I said, I think I told you, on all the race boats, what you see on the mast, the lower part of the mast, is
Yep.
a wind indicator, right?
Yep.
Is a rudder indicator.
And your
a bunch of
knots, your speed.
right? So I've got speed on the boat, so I've got a knot meter on it, but I don't have those other fancy, cool instruments. But I will when I get home.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks, sir.
You.
All right. About the end of my watch here, day 15 of the Pac Cup. It's still bright and sunny because we've kept our phones and clocks on California time, and it's 2 time zones difference here getting up to Hawaii. So yeah, sun will be up for a little while according to our California watch schedule. Kind of interesting. John and I were talking this evening after dinner about when we might first start seeing the islands, considering that the volcanic peaks are what, like 10,000, 11,000 feet. Wonder how far off, whether maybe even tomorrow when I start seeing them through the binoculars and not depending on how hazy it is. So pressing forward, still flying the Spinnaker. We'll do so for another 3 hours or more at least. And it's been a beautiful day of sailing. So look forward to talking to you more tomorrow. Thanks for watching Nautica. And until then, happy sailing.